I don't know how people can hate on the dubstep, man. This episode got me so hyped, and that dubstep does it for me. Like, how can you hate on the dubstep? Like, it's just adding so much to the fucking scenes. Let's go. So this week's episode seems as though it's going to start something a lot longer than just kind of like the freak of the week, because we met this teacher, which if you pay attention to the opening, you could definitely see that she's in the opening and she's a parasite as well. But this is where it starts to go a little bit more deeper into the minds of the parasites and the different type of ones, because this teacher, Tamiya, seemingly wants more than just an average parasite. Like most of the parasites we've seen up till now have just been content with, okay, you know, we're gonna eat and we're gonna just keep going and killing and doing whatever the fuck we want. This one had sex and seemingly exhibits behavior that is more similar to a human than a parasite. Yeah, there's still the whole thing of wanting to eat people to continue, because when her and A showed up, it was basically like, we're going to keep eating humans, stay out of our way. But yeah, we're looking at it a little bit deeper. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if that was A that was pushing that, because between the two of them, A just looks like he tries sex and maybe doesn't want to be alone or whatever, but ultimately he's more along the lines of the parasites we've seen up till now, like the mincemeat murder that basically wants to just keep killing and doesn't give a fuck. So between the two of them, it's like, I don't know, first of all, how they're even working together, because A looks like he just wants to destroy everything. And oh my god, that creepy fucking face he has. This shit's gonna give me nightmares. And in all honesty, it looks as though Tamiya might become an ally to our main character later, because I honestly don't see him dying in this fight against A. And Tamiya is probably gonna be left with a void, like, fuck, what do I do? Because now that she's pregnant, which kind of makes me a little bit more interested as well in the biology of the parasite. So they kind of become morphed in a way, it seems as though, with the humans, to a sense that they are the human now. So the only thing that really separates them is the fact that they actually like to cannibalize, which at the end of the day, there are cannibal people in the world, so they're not too far of a stretch away. And the fact that they have those crazy abilities or whatever. But I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Tamiya stays with him, and it kind of reminds me of like Minene Uryu from Future Diary, like the badass older chick that helps him out. I hope she doesn't go along the lines of the route of like, oh, you're so dreamy, because that's going to be kind of awkward. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's like every kid's dream, the hot teacher to come and like, you know, want to do shit, but I don't think it's going to go that route, and I hope it doesn't go that route anyway. Be an ally, but not a lover. Although, wouldn't it be dark if Tamiya fell down the path of darkness and ultimately cannibalized her own child? But then again, it doesn't seem as though within the characterization of the character thus far, because right now, it seems as though she's trying to find her way. She's trying to see what she wants to actually be, human or parasite, and kind of a little bit more conflicted than that. So maybe if that ever does happen, that needs to be further down the road. But as of right now, it looks as though Tamiya is going in a better direction, more so along the lines of like what Migi is going through, what Shinichi. And talking about Migi real quick, in this episode, it still shows at the end of the day, while there's some influence from Shinichi on him, ultimately he still looks at it as, yeah, humans are just bags of fucking meat, which is kind of fucked up. But when he's like suggesting the plan, like, oh, we're gonna have all these meat bags surrounding us and then we'll go and attack and everything, I'm like, Migi hasn't changed completely yet. We still need a little bit more character development. If A does survive out of this and still stays with Tamiya, I would have liked a little bit more character from him, because as of right now, again, all we know is that he's a crazy murderer and maybe he has something for Tamiya, but ultimately he doesn't really give a fuck. And if he stays around, it would just kind of be like, why? So ultimately, I just don't see him surviving out of this fight. I see Shinichi and Migi just taking him out completely, because he doesn't really have much character other than he's a fucking nutjob, lunatic-looking, psychotic creep. And another thing you notice is this episode was helping to build Shinichi's character up, because Shinichi now seemingly has to help fight with Migi. And I'm wondering if Migi, since he's been with him this entire time, and, you know, they slowly keep on gaining little aspects of each other. Like when we saw Shinichi flip out at that girl, you know, his seemingly girlfriend at this point. I think it's safe to say girlfriend, or, you know, the chick that he's seeing as of right now anyway. And you see those little characteristics. So I'm wondering, strength-wise and fighting-wise, will he have some of those abilities as well? Will he be able to fight a lot more crazier than just an average human against A? And just seeing the dynamics of Migi slowly changing. I think every time Shinichi and him go through something, they both change a little bit. I think Shinichi gets a little bit more brave and a little bit more characteristics from Migi, and vice versa. Migi is like, okay, since we can't go with your plan, then here, take this weapon. We're going to have to fight together. And that's kind of humanizing Migi. I think by the end of the series, Migi can totally be almost like No, humans are awesome, or at the very least tolerable. And overall, another awesome episode, very good episode this week. The characterization, character build-up, setting a new threat. Hopefully it's not a freak of the week after this, because up till now we've kind of had like, oh, the freak of the week, the freak of the week. So I'm looking forward to like with this Tamiya character being an ally and everything, the teacher. It goes a long way. And maybe after this fight with A, we got a long arc either dealing with the mincemeat murderers, assuming A isn't the mincemeat murderer, or we haven't seen mincemeat murderer yet. And, you know, big, long villains that are kind of ahead of all this, because there's still so many questions, like, why the fuck are the Parasytes here to begin with? Why did they choose these particular people? And yeah, again, very good episode, 8 out of 10 this week. I'm just really enjoying Parasyte Madhouse. Just keep doing it, and I don't know, I'm on the side of, I think the dubstep is making it hell of a lot more interesting and exciting, and just like giving a more vibrant environment when things is going down. It's like, oh man, it's just boom, boom. I'm liking it. But let me know what you guys thought. What do you think about Tamiya? Do you think she's going to be a true ally to Shinichi after this fight? What do you think about A? How the fuck did A and Tamiya get together to begin with, other than just them boning? And what do you think about Migi and Shinichi evolving through everything that they're going through, with Migi slowly becoming more human and Shinichi, I wouldn't want to say becoming more Parasyte, because as right now it's like, yeah, he's exhibiting small characteristics of it, but I think he's becoming more badass and brave as of right now anyway. And overall thoughts of the episode. Really enjoying this shit. It's like, Parasyte, thanks for coming around and kicking ass. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you can do so as well, that'd be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.